Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Lisa Ware, Senior Group Leader, and going to deliver to you. Really, I wasn't planning to do this, but on the big night in, Wes, I think, is out in Singapore, Malaysia way, and it was Derek Thomas interviewing Leon Warner, Senior Group Leader, 600 Plus Club, all about his way of getting referrals. And I'm not going to obviously even begin to try and recapture what was in an hour in half an hour. I'm going to give you a very much a pre-seed version of what it was all about, because actually what I heard, and I certainly observed, was that Leon Warner and I have almost been doing identical stuff. And I've been in longer than Leon. Just so if you don't know, I sit on over 700 personal customers. With support, head office believe I've probably done something like 3,000 appointments, and I've helped many people. Okay. I really do know how to do this, I think, although I will never say that I haven't stopped learning, because I think if we are conceited enough to believe we know everything, I think that's when it all goes doolally. I think being open to the fact that there is always something new you can learn is a really good thing. So I'm going to sort of like explain to you what Leon was saying. So here's the number one first thing. If you're looking for genuine referrals, don't expect to go into an appointment and be out in under an hour. Leon said exactly what I've always been saying, and I know you know I've been saying this. I believe this business is a relationship building business, and what you actually do is you make friends with people. And I'm not on about falsely. I'm on about seriously caring about people. My mantra is kindness is everything. And I believe if you are a genuinely kind person, it means you care. And if you care, then actually you're prepared to go the extra mile, as they say. That was almost exactly what Leon was saying. He says often his first 25 minutes is actually spent building rapport. It may not even be talking about utility warehouse whatsoever. Now, I am sure that there were quite a few hundred that night that were surprised to hear that, because there is an element, and I now speak, I don't know, controversially, but there is an element among the younger generations that everything can be done instantly, like instant tea, coffee, and all the rest of it. And you know what? Just send a link to somebody through Facebook, they'll sign themselves up, and hey, presto. Well, actually, I believe if you start doing all that kind of thing, you'll never get any referrals because you're not building any rapport. And actually, rapport is something about finding a cohesive and a similar feeling between two people, a feeling that you're getting on, as opposed to building confrontation. That's what rapport really is about. And it might be anything from the moment that you walk in the door. It could be that you start talking about something that you see. It could be a photograph that's on the mantelpiece. In the old days, when we used to have in-class trainings, we used to talk about this. And all of a sudden, before you've even got going, you are talking about something that is their number one topic, they care about, and they then see that you're bothering to take notice of what they're saying. And actually, that's rapport. And we hear Alan P say, questions are the answers. Oh gosh, that is so true. The more questions we ask, the more we will build rapport. If all we do is intend to walk in a door and gabble on at breakneck speed, sell, 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 do you know what? It won't happen. And in fact, you will have heard me say it before, and Leon said this, that presentation that we do should be so fluid and feel so much part of our DNA that it becomes more of a conversation than a presentation. Yes, you're showing the screens, But actually, in between, you're asking questions. I mean, the number one at the very beginning, the very first page says, "Hello, we're UW, here to save you time and money." Oh my God, isn't that sad? I actually do know the screen off by heart. Right, now, the next thing, and Leon said it too, is I say to them, well, got to ask you, have you ever heard of UW? Now, you get a mixed bag, but predominantly still, not really. Kind of recognise the name, can't think. So then I explain that for 26 odd years, the company hasn't done TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, outbound calling, junk mail, billboards, taxis, buses, nothing. They've worked through the principle of recommendation. One happy customer telling another, "Isn't this great?" And then I will often say to them, "Well, of course, I'm here because your friend so-and-so said that she loved it so much. That's why I'm in front of you." And what you've now done is you've begun this wonderful thing that is coming together, that it's all because of that friend. And I often give them an analogy of, do you know what? If you think about this, supposing you were going to get a plumber in, you probably wouldn't put your finger in the yellow pages. You'd probably ask a family member or a good friend, "Can you recommend a good plumber?" "Well, you know, I want a job done well. I want it at a fair price. I certainly don't want him to mess the house up." Because actually you want to know that the person that's coming to you has already done something good for someone else. And that's why referral networking is why we're called referral networking. People say, "What are you?" I say, "We're a referral networking company. We work on recommendations." So I'm in the middle of doing something for a customer. Here we are, up in Shaftesbury. I'm near Blandford Forum. And the phone rings. And it's my customer there. He's hearing me. I've got it on loudspeaker. And this lady says, "Hello, my name is, my friend, da, 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 has said, I need to see you, Lisa." This is absolutely true, what I'm just telling you. I can't say the names because of obviously GDPR. Michael, the customer, is sat there and he's nodding like crazy. Yes, she's really good. And what he's seeing in action is, that's how my business comes, most of it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, do you honestly believe 700 customers, do you really believe every single one of those I found independently? No. I reckon there could be a good 400 of them have come through recommendation. All right, so I feel that I could happily do this with you because I'm actually talking from experience here. And I really know what I'm on about. And what was so wonderful hearing Leon Warner was he was saying almost all the things I say. And I was sat there, I didn't have my video on. I was actually wrapping presents at the time, being honest. But I thought, kill two birds with one stone. I was intently watching and listening to him and thinking, oh my God, Leon, you're saying all the same things as me. So there we are, build rapport. You can't shortchange it. And I'm going to say this, and this is controversial. And actually, Leon Warner said it too. He said this. He said, "I still find face-to-face is better." He said, "Yes, you can build some rapport through.
Any of your customers
Can I just ask whoever, I can hear, I'm going to have to, sorry, we can't have interruptions. Mute all. Right. Okay, I've muted you. Sorry, folks. Right. He's saying the same as me. Yes, you can build some kind of rapport through Zoom, and I'm doing a Zoom supported at 6:30 tonight. However, I'm telling you, when I'm in that room, I believe, and you've heard me say this before, people feel your energy. They feel your integrity. They know that you care. How can you put a tangible thing on it? I'm not even that spiritual, but I know there's something about this that they can almost feel your kindness. They know that you care. And actually, the fact that you bothered to go into a car and driven it as well actually does say an awful lot. And I will say this. I get far, far, far fewer cancellations on a face-to-face appointment than ever a Zoom. Because I tell you what goes on in people's minds psychologically. Oh, well, she didn't travel anywhere. It doesn't matter if I don't show. And I'm sure that's true. Really sure that's true. So he was saying the same. He prefers, if he can, to go face-to-face because he said he knows he gets a better response. Now, here's another one for you, and this will probably surprise you. He said, if you think I'm one of those people that walks out of that house with a whole pack of referrals in my hands, he said, I don't. Because there is this conception, and it's going on an awful lot, that you can there and then pick up endless referrals. I'm telling you now, I have loads of people say to me, I'd like to see how this works, how it pans out for a while, and then I'll be happy to refer. Actually, do you know what? I honestly don't believe that's a bad thing. So when I talk about I get recommendations, I always say they're true recommendations. They're not ones that have been got under coercion. I haven't been forcing the moment, if you get what I'm saying. Now, in the old days, we used to have little yellow books. On one side, it used to say customer referrals, and then you turned it over the other way, and it used to say possible recruits. In fact, I've got piles of them. There's so many. And I used to take these, and I must admit, my little book used to go on the table, and you might still want to do this because it's good. It's psychology. And I used to put it down, face up, that said customer referrals. So as I was doing everything else, it was always there. Now that is what, really good, that's what Claire Hingot does. She calls it, a little book, People to Help. People to Help. And in fact, I have since copied her. I have little books, People to Help. And they do go on the table. Because what we've got to do is take away that they're going to give us something that's going to help us. No, 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 no. What we want to do, and what should come over, is that actually it's all about them helping someone else they care about. Now, that's a different psychology entirely, isn't it? Totally different. So you have got to get over, as you're doing this, keep talking about how you got to be there and say, like, you know, when I do this appointment I've now got on Thursday, I will be saying, if it wasn't for your friend Sandra, I wouldn't be here. Because on this phone call, when she rang me, when I was with my other customer, she said, oh, Sandra, hey, hear this, folks. Her words are, I don't think you can really help me. Anyone else had that? And Michael sat there laughing. And I turned round and said to her, and this is a good thing, I said, everybody says that to me. Isn't that interesting? Everyone says, I don't think you can help me. I said, however, I said, when I go and see people, I am generally saving them between £500 and £1,000 a year. So I said, it often doesn't come into play. And I said, that's because, yes, you've done the very best so far with everything at your disposal, be it websites, switching services. You've done everything you can. But what you never had was UW, which is entirely different. And I said, they work with this partner because we offer a bespoke service. And I said to her, and now Michael's laughing raucously, I said to her, do you like A1 AI bot chat? She went, what's that? I said, yeah, artificial intelligence. I said, it's what British Gas offer these days. You can't speak to a real human being. I said, probably what Sandra, your friend, has said, that she loves the fact that there's a real human being at the end of the phone. And I said, it's me. I said, hopefully, I said, you're understanding me. She said, yeah, I am. I said, well, come and experience something entirely different to what you've ever known before. And I said, I really hope we can get together. So then we're trying to sort out a time. And I explained about my father being in hospital and all the rest of it. So anyway, I'm doing Thursday afternoon at 2. But what's gone on is about, can I say it's about not being mechanical? It's about being human, about being normal. And one of the phrases I use often is, I like to treat others the way I like to be treated. And do you know what? People really they can assimilate with that. It's basically saying, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to care. And that's the other part of how you get referrals. Referrals, if it's done well, is all about caring, about listening, about doing what's right for them. So Leon shared with us, he rarely walks out of that appointment with instant referrals. But what he has done, and this is where I fail, and I'm now going to share with you something wonderful that he's done that I haven't. He has set up a WhatsApp broadcast list. He asked their permission. So every customer goes into this broadcast list, which is basically when he sends a message out, it goes to his customers individually as if it's only to them. They don't realize it's going to lots of people. And then when they reply, it comes individually back to him. Now, I've failed miserably and I've never done it, and I still haven't done it. Probably a massive failing. I think possibly Mr. Critchley might say to me, Lisa, it would be worth your while probably paying someone to do this for you, because it would be, for me, possibly not time well spent. Can you imagine 700 customers? That's a hell of a lot of people to individually phone and contact and ask, can I put you into a special da da da? But it means what he does, he keeps in touch with people. Now, I tend to do it like this time of year. I actually, some of my what I call big spenders, the ones that earn me 30, 40 pound a month residual income, they do get a rather lovely Christmas card from me every year. And that's because actually we do see each other as friends. They get a Christmas card, and I've always done it. So I do an awful lot of Christmas cards with family. I write about 200 Christmas cards. I've done loads. Okay, I've started and I tend to do about 16 every night for a while. Now, I'm not saying you've got to do that, but actually it's just, I tell you why I think the Christmas card is good. Because these days we are doing everything through, and Leon said this too, we're doing everything through texting, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever, emails, none of it which is personal. But a card has now become something very special, that you've bothered to choose it, handwrite an envelope, and even put a stamp at, first class, £1.25. Right? You've bothered to do all this. It actually has a lot of meaning now when you actually get a card. Yeah. So I actually see that as something, yeah, that's another thing that why I get lots of referrals. And what happens is these customers do stay in touch. And that's what he said. They stay in touch until the time is right that Leon is in their mind, not all the time, but perhaps they're out to dinner, hypothetically, with some friends. And one of them might happen to mention, as they could at the moment, about, the economy. Have you noticed that petrol's going up again? It went down, now it's going back up. And then all of a sudden, maybe, as he says, Leon comes into their mind and says, do you know what? We've got a way that could possibly help you through a friend of ours. He's a UW partner and he's done wonders for us. And Leon gets messages or phone calls like I do. Now, would you not say that that was a proper recommendation? It really is about that it's somebody really saying this could be good. And believe me, when I got that phone call today and this lady said, oh, I don't think you can help me. But Sandra turned around and said, oh, well, you really should give her a try. She's very, very good. So that's what you're looking for, recommendations. Now, he did an anagram, and it was ref. Okay. Basically, it's what I've been telling you. It's just an anagram. You know, you've got to be thinking about that you're in this not to make, sorry to use the expression, but not to make a quick buck. That you want to be in the door and out the door in seconds. I don't believe that will ever give you long-term residual income. If you are doing it right, and on the various teams, and I know there are some people here, on the various teams, I've been sending out to this morning to people in the teams that are doing well. It doesn't matter. Every single customer, all right, matters. Everyone. And in the Scottish team, I wrote today, I think it was, applause to TL Stuart Simpson, who signed up another quality multi-service customer. Helping someone genuinely reduce the cost of their services with a cashback card that's going to delight them. And in time, when they're genuinely delighted, they're going to recommend. Now, here's the other thing that Leon said. All right. To get recommendations, you're not probably just going to be signing up gas and electric only customers, because gas and electric only customers will get a fair price, but they won't get the UK's cheapest. They will not realise the benefits of having the cashback card and how everyday spending can begin to eliminate some of the cost of your services. So, to explain to you, I just had my bill came in, my UW bill. I mean, how ridiculous to say I was delighted. How can you get excited about a bill? But I was. Do you know what? I looked at it and I said, oh my gosh, look, Juan, it's only £100 and there are 5 services, because £72 came off our bill from spending last month. And shall I tell you what the bulk of it was? Oh, wow. I learnt my lesson well from not using it all the time in Miami when we were on honeymoon. In Amsterdam, I used it for everything. Every single foreign transaction fee came back. It amounted to a lot of money. How about that? So it wasn't just all my normal spending, you know, the Sainsbury's for petrol and stuff and Waitrose and all the other bits. There was all these foreign transaction fees, and it absolutely bumped it up. So now when I show people, when I'm doing a presentation, say, right, oh, come on, we'll have a look at the latest bill. And then I can, you know, say to them, look, I know it looks crazy, but it's real. I can't make this up. Can you see why people, here you are, can you see why people recommend this onto their family and friends? All through the presentation, then, you're giving them constantly saying about recommending, but in a way that's not ramming it down their throat. It's just a genuine joy, while you're saying it, so that it becomes the norm for them to think about recommending than not recommending. That's what you're trying to achieve. That's what Leon said. And I thought, yes, he's right. I mean, there's going to be a second part next Sunday. They're going to do another part to it, because actually, if we think about this, if you can get a handful of customers and get recommendations, you are on a good way of organically and exponentially growing your business. And here's the other reason why recommendations, referrals are so important. Somebody that starts recommending, and he calls it becoming one of your raving fans, they're more than likely in time, if they keep recommending, there's more of a chance that they might want to become a partner, because they could increase that £50 by 5 times 3 service homeowner, £250. 5 times more. Yeah, so you've got the basis. In fact, if I look at all my main leaders in my teams, many of them were customers, albeit for a short time, first. Because actually, how can you recommend something if you're not using it? Yeah, is that integrity? So there we go, because I see lots of partners being signed up. And yes, okay, there are some that can't take services if they're living at home, if they're in their early 20s, and there's a lot more of them living at home with mum and dad. They haven't got bills. Mum and dad have got the bills, but it's really important to get mum and dad as a practice appointment. So I'm going to unmute. No, before I do, I want to show you something. I'm going to share the screen. Bear with me. You recommend you see your dashboard page. We've all got similar. Okay. If you go to, jot this down, learning portal, and go to A to Z, and now go to R and referrals. This is just something that's really, really useful. Let me just move us out the way, guys. Okay, please do. It's 14 minutes, 14 minutes, 24 seconds. Please do listen to this. Okay. All right. It's really good to listen to. Very important that you do, because this is good. This is Claire Hingot too. So I'm going to stop the share now. And I'm now going to unmute everybody. Hang on, if I can do it. Would you know? Yes. Oh, hang on. Allow parts to unmute themselves. Mute. Oh, I don't know. I can't. Can you unmute yourself if you've got a question? I'm struggling, guys. Me and technology. I'm proof you don't have to be clever to do this. Right. Who has a question about referrals? Who would like to ask? Yes, Lindsay, unmute yourself. Can't unmute. What have I done? Can you now? Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, lovely, loud and clear.
Okay.
Hello, Lindsay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lisa. Thanks for your excellent talk as always. The one amusing thing was that Leon, obviously Leon has changed in his journey, because I've been in a place with Leon a few years ago when he's saying how long it took to sign up a customer, and I distinctly remember him saying 40 minutes. This was years ago. He's now changed. He said 40 minutes. He's now changed, and when he's talking about 2 hours and all about building rapport. So yeah. And
it has.
Remember he said he contributed.
Can I say, I think everyone can learn from that, because there is an element, and it is mostly the younger generation, sadly, that actually believe you can. In fact, I had a damn right kind of argument on the UW forum with someone that's a group leader in one of the northern teams about that. He says he does the presentation in 7 minutes flat. And I said, if I did the presentation in 7 minutes, I said, I wouldn't do it justice. I said, I turn it into a conversation, and I'm talking about recommendations and stuff as I'm doing it, because actually I think I want to show them that I'm bothering to give them my time. And that's what Leon was saying. Yeah, definitely. And by the way, I think that I'll find it, because I will have some time, but it will be later, because I've got a supported Zoom at 6:30. That there is Sundays is available, so I will make sure I send it out. Okay, they have somehow managed to retrieve the recording, because it was jolly good, very good. I just, what I've done is I've taken what I call the gist, the overall gist, because I think it's all about, he went on about it over and over about building rapport. Don't expect to walk out with a whole pile of referrals in your hand immediately, that actually they become real people that phone you up. And I tell you what's interesting, when I took the call today, this is just because it's happened loads, it is often I get these calls when I am with someone else. And can you imagine how the guy I was with, Michael, he's hearing how our business happens.
Yeah.
So they will then feel, well, that's what I should be doing. Yeah.
Mm.
And he came to me, I've got to point this out, because it was his son-in-law that recommended for 3 years, has been saying. And then a neighbour 3 doors down was saying to him, and do you know what the final push was? Do you remember there was an editorial piece in the Sunday Times magazine a few months back? Actually, no, it was last year, sorry. Time flies. It was last year, May. When I went to see him, he actually showed me. And there it was, this editorial piece. And he said, oh, this is what gave me the final push to call you, Lisa. He said, Sean, my son's been here for years. And he said, my neighbour's been telling me, what does it take for people to realise that others are saying something's good? So what it means is, and I now will share something that is really poignant. I used to be in business to business advertising. I sold leaflet distribution. And I can tell you all the ratios and stats. If you put out 100 leaflets, if you're lucky, you get a 1% return. That's fact. Okay. So what happens is you had to tell companies and advertisers that actually you've got to keep putting it out there, because it often takes seven hits before finally somebody will do something about it. So what we're hearing is it's not going to be an instant thing. Somebody might not, just because a friend of theirs says, oh, this is really good. It might take quite a bit. So that's why this isn't an instant build a business thing. You've got to be a little bit, have some patience, and it comes. Yeah. Any other questions or anything at all? Because if not, I will say, yeah, go on, Isabel.
I was just, it was a very good talk on Sunday, but I was just wondering, how often would you keep in touch with your customers? I think Leon said every 10 to 14 days, and I felt that might be a bit too much.
I personally felt that was too much. There's no way I would keep in contact. Oh my God, I think my customers would think I'd fruit the loop. I think they'd think I'd lost the plot a bit if I did that. I think once every 6 months, possibly. Yeah, I think that's kind of, you can't go too wrong with that. But I mean, I must admit, I don't, yeah. Because what I've discovered is that they tend to keep in touch with me. A lot of them, which is nice.
It's
you
better.
know. I had a guy rang me last week, really bad moment, just as we were walking in the hospital with my mum. And he's been with me 17 years. Lovely chap. And he's referred about 24 people to me, family, friends, and that. 24. I'm not lying. I can show you the tree. Amazing. And he'd got a letter from UW, which was about going over to full fibre. But I explained to him if he did, he'd lose his landline number. And for him, that was everything. Really important to them. And so as he said to me, oh, thank you, Lisa. His words were, I'm so glad I called you. I knew I'd get a proper immediate answer from something sensible. And he said, my landline is important. And you're right. No, I won't take up on it. As good as an offer as it looks, I'll stay as I am. And that's enough to be that in another point of contact. And as sure as eggs is eggs, I probably will get another referral from him in a month or two, because what it is that I am their point of reference. And that's what you want to be. You want to be a point of reference, okay, that they think of, even if it's not about utility warehouse services. I have some customers that call me and say, Lisa, I know you know everyone. Can you recommend where I could get a good PC from? And actually, that's true. I do know lots of people. So I'm like the little go-between that I pass info, but I'm foremost in their mind. And that's what you're trying to be. So this is called networking, ladies and gentlemen. You're trying to be someone that is important to them. someone that they think, oh, you're a person to rely on. And that's how super genuine recommendations come. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I will be doing, I won't be doing next week. And there is a reason, because I'm on my 700 plus club holiday. My mum and dad know, but I am actually doing something for loads of my STLs in my business, but I'm doing it when we get to the hotel. But I've decided, no, I'm going to be, because we've got about an 8-hour journey up to Northumberland and we will still be traveling. And with the best will in the world, I don't think you want me trying to do a coaching while I'm driving. So next week, no, but the following week. And I hope today was useful, and hopefully I've kept myself sane. You've helped me keep sane in my absolute insane world. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Take care, everyone. Love you loads. Bye.
Bye.